The San Francisco 49ers have been talked about all offseason as having a quarterback situation between 2022 Mr. Relevant Brock Purdy, former third overall selection Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy has since been named the definitive starter of the San Francisco 49ers, with Sam Darnold serving as his backup and Trey Lance at QB3. It has been an interesting career so far for Lance, to say the least, and one that sure has not gone the way the 49ers or Lance have expected since the 2021 NFL Draft. With that being said, I want to get into how we got here. How is a former third overall pick, one that the 49ers traded up to go get, been relegated to QB3 on his team entering his third NFL season? I'll give a preface that this film gets rough sometimes, but there are glimpses of hope in here as well that I want to point out. At the end, we'll even talk about possible trade opportunities for Lance, because honestly, that's the only place that I really see this going between the 49ers and Lance, is to get a fresh start, get him traded out of here, and give him a new opportunity. So let's get right into it. On this first play, the 49ers are going to be running play action, with the design being curls to both sides of the field with a late flat underneath as a check down. The play action is just eye candy for these linebackers, with the intent to draw them to the line of scrimmage to free the middle of the field of underneath coverage. This play is designed to be read right to left, so we're going to be looking near curl, field side curl, and then the flat check down underneath. At the snap, the eye candy does what it's intended to do. These linebackers step up, ready to defend the run, leaving the middle of the field vacated. It looks like Lance is going to gloss over this first curl. He's going to move to the second, and he looks at it, but he gets scared by this bailing linebacker. Both curls are open. The ball needs to go to the near side curl. If he's going to gloss over it for whatever reason, the second curl is open and the ball needs to get out. This bailing linebacker doesn't have his eyes turned around and can't defend anything outside of his frame. This is because he isn't going to be able to turn his head around, locate the ball, and break up the pass before the ball gets there. Lance works his way to the check down and they gain 4 or 5 yards here, but we left a lot out in the field on this play. Trey Lance is going too fast on this rep. I'm going to give him slack. It is his first NFL action in almost a year due to his ankle injury last year, but this became an unfortunate trend in this one. On the next play, we drop the ball on so many levels. The design of this play is to split the field in half. We have a play fake to the left before Lance is going to get out to the right. As scheme, we're going to be running a flood concept with a bang arrow in the short, and over in the intermediate, and a go ball at depth. Where we mess up here is that both of these tight ends are going to run what I call a bang arrow. We're going to bang, make contact, make it look like we're blocking, then we're going to slip out late on this arrow route. Both of these tight ends end up running the same route and occupying similar space. Now, this could be intentional design of this play, but the way this tight end dies out on his route tells me that he realized he messed up and he's just trying to stay out of the play. That may or may not be the case. I'm just trying to read body language on this one. Anyway, back to Trey Lance here. He's rolling out and he's got the defender barreling down on him. He's going to get the ball out, and his tight end is going to make an impressive one-hand catch on this one. This was a really nice play, but I really don't know how good we can feel about it. If this tight end doesn't make this one-handed snag, he's definitely going to throw an interception here, and this interception is likely going to go 6 in the other direction. So we're going to get lucky here, feel good about it in the moment, and that it worked out, but realize that this was really close to disaster. Next play, we're under center again, running play action again. This time we have a flat by the fullback and over by the field side receiver and a go ball by the opposite receiver. When I let this play go, we're going to see this over come open on 2 separate occasions during this route. Once here in this first window, but again here in the second window. It looks to me that Lance is looking right at it in the first window but doesn't throw it. For some reason he doesn't like it, but it is open. He then works the check down and doesn't give it a chance to develop in the second window. The ball is out to the flat before the receiver gets to the second window, but it's going to be open there if he looks at it. To make it worse, we don't even get the completion here to this flat. It sailed over his head. Just more missed opportunities for Lance in this 49ers offense, and these plays are starting to add up now. On the next play, we're just going to have a little easy under crosser just to get things going on offense. This receiver is going to cross the field behind the line of scrimmage, and Lance is going to hit him up on the face mask in stride for an easy completion in search of something to build off of for this offense. Sometimes it just takes one completion to build that confidence needed to get the offense back on track and start to get things rolling again. On the next play, we get to see Trey Lance, the playmaker, at the back of the drop. We don't have a clean look to go with the ball. Lance sees this edge wash too far up the field, and he has a lane to the right, and he takes it. As he rolls right, this defender defending the spot route is going to take a step towards Lance to take away the threat of the run, which tells Lance that this receiver is now uncovered. He gets the ball out and around the defender and makes something out of nothing on this play. This was a nice play made by Lance. Now, just like that, we have some positive momentum to build off of moving forward. Moving on to the next play, this is the touchdown that Lance is going to throw in this game, and it looks good on the stat sheet. But again, watching it back on tape, you just don't feel great about it. We're targeting this over in the back of the end zone, and there is a point in time that it is open. But we're late getting there, and we try to uncork this ball to rip it in there. The ball is a little behind the receiver, and the defensive back gets the deflection, and fortunately for Lance, it falls into the arms of a 49er in the end zone. This decision wasn't awful, but we need to get there sooner, or if we're going to be late like this, the accuracy has to be precise. At this point, you can see that there's a way to get this ball in there between the defenders, but man, we have a small margin for error, and Lance is a little bit off, but we get lucky on this one. Again, celebrate in the moment, but learn from it in the long run. Now moving on to the next one, we have a dig paired with a deep out. Lance starts to the right of the dig, and the safety enters his back pedal. This dig is a throw that I think we can make. The safety is at enough depth that I think that we can get this ball in here on the dig, but Lance doesn't like it. Now we move to the deep out. Lance steps up in the pocket, takes a couple hitches, and I think he hears footsteps on this, and that's why he tucks it and runs. The protection has been rough all game, and I think we see it affect him on this throw. If Lance were to one hitch, get his feet under him, and get this ball out on this deep out with anticipation, that is excellent football. This defensive back has his back turned to Lance, and the receiver has a step on him. This is a completion in the making. Those are the kinds of plays that I want to be seeing from Lance on tape. Unfortunately, we take a sack on this play. Moving on to the next one, Lance has early pressure and he's able to escape the pocket and roll out to the left and try to make a play outside his structure. Luckily for Lance, this guy knows what he's doing. In the scramble drill, this is what you need to see from your receivers to work to get themselves open, and this guy knows what he's doing. Push vertical up the sideline, then stop and come back to the ball. This creates natural separation and gives your quarterback a place to go with the ball. Lance finds him and gets these yards back after the sack. Nice play by Lance. On the next one, Lance is going to be throwing this deep in, and it's a nice ball on the body, on the break, right up on the face mask for the easy grab and a nice gain. These are the type of quick, decisive reads that I need to see more of from Lance. He shows that he's capable. He can do it. It's just getting himself to the point of being a little more consistent with it, and that all comes with reps. This guy has less pass attempts through 2 NFL seasons than any other quarterback on this roster, and Brock Purdy only played a handful of games last year. It's just going to take time, and he needs to end up with a team that's going to give him those live game reps. This next play is something very similar. If I didn't tell you they were different plays, you might not even have noticed. Again, here we are working a 3-by-1. That's 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right, and we're going to be targeting this deep in again to the same receiver on a very similar route combination. This tells me that I think Lance is very comfortable reading and diagnosing these inside breaking routes, so let's see more of that. Let's get creative and work these inside breaking routes to get some confidence in our quarterback. Because these last 2 plays, you couldn't have executed them much better than Lance did. He gets the ball out on time, and he does a great job of getting this ball up and down over the linebacker. Great job, Trey Lance. The last play I have from week 1 is a poor decision to throw this ball, and it should have been intercepted here. We're targeting the spot route over the middle of the field, and Lance just doesn't see this underneath defender, or he thinks that he can get it there before the defender makes his break. Either way, this was another turnover-worthy play by Lance, and something that we need to learn from, because we have this high-low up top on the top of the field. Read this defender. He plays the curl, throw the flat. He steps to the flat, throw the curl. We had better places to go with the ball here, and reviewing the tape, I hope he sees that and learns from it. All in all, preseason week 1 was a rough watch. Plenty of ups and downs to learn from, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this one. He hasn't played in a little under a year, and this is his first live game snaps of the season. I'll chalk that up to knocking some rust off. Let's get into week 2. On this first play, we get to the back of our drop, and there's no great options to go with the ball here. We bail to the right, and similar to the play in the last game, this receiver is going to work upfield, then work back to the ball along the sideline, and this defender is going to step up to take away Lance's rushing lane. Lance gets the ball to the receiver on the sideline. This is a nice start for him here. This next play is going to be an interception on a screen pass, and this one's going to hurt. If this were complete, we had an opportunity to make a big play here. Unfortunately, this ball comes out flat, gets deflected, and popped into the air for a big man interception. We need this ball to be thrown like a shot put in track. We need to put air under this. But like I said, it's flat, and it leads to an interception off the defensive line. Tough. The next play I actually like a lot, and we're going to be targeting this deep curl to the bottom of the screen. What I really like here is a couple things. First, if you remember earlier in the film session on one of the first plays that I showed, Lance missed a curl or two when he had him. I like to see that he's made this adjustment, and in the very next game, we're able to hit this for a nice gain, except for the fact that the receiver is not able to hold on. But you really can't catch it for him. Lance did all he could here. Second thing I like here is that this ball was thrown with great anticipation. Look where the receiver is when Lance starts to let this one rip. These two things screamed off the screen at me, and they were excellent to watch. This is showing his improvement from one week to the next, and you have to love to see it. The next play is similar to the last play that we watched versus the Raiders. We're targeting this underneath spot route, and Lance is just going to miss this underneath defender again. He's eyeballing him the whole time, and this linebacker sees it the whole way. Lance still lets it out here, and the linebacker nearly comes up with the pick. The linebacker throws his hands up in awe because he knows that if he got his hands on this ball, it was likely going the other way for 6. The tight end ends up popping this ball into the air, and the safety on the back end almost comes up with the interception as well. This ball was almost intercepted twice on this play. Not great. The next play is very similar to another play that we saw in the Raiders game where he missed that over route in 2 different windows. On this play, we're going to step up and try to get the ball there, but our mechanics are a little bit off, and this ball comes out funny and falls incomplete. We're looking right at it here, and we're not going to get the ball out. I'm not sure if we're not seeing it or if we're just late to process it or what's going on, but this is open right now. Set your feet, launch this sucker. We step up, we reset, but we get the ball out late, and it's just another play left on the field for the 49ers offense. On the next play, we have more great playmaking here by Trey Lance. At the back of his drop, we don't really have anywhere to go with the ball except for the flat. We feel this edge bending towards us, and we step through and roll to the left. We end up finding this in route in the second window coming across the field and get the ball to him right on his chest plate. Excellent throw here, but the receiver isn't able to hold on. This was a great play by Trey Lance, and he's now shown on multiple occasions that he's able to operate outside of the structure of the offense and handle himself well. Like I've already said, we just need to see him get more consistent with it in other aspects of the game, but this is encouraging stuff to see right here. On the next play, we don't really have a great spot to go with the ball here, so we're just going to get to the back of our drop and throw this one up off of our back foot, and we're lucky it isn't picked off here. As we can see from the end zone angle, this ball is literally going to bounce off the defender's face mask. This is going to go doink right off of his face. Right off of his face, and it falls incomplete. Lucky for Lance here, this ball isn't intercepted, and the Broncos don't start deep in the San Francisco 49ers territory here. Moving on to the next play, it's another good ball and an in-breaking route. This is a nice base, good ball, on the body, on the break, easy catch. There's not really much more I can say at this point. These middle-of-the-field in-breaking routes are his bread and butter. It's where he's most comfortable at this point, and I think that we need to find a way to incorporate these more and then get this level of confidence to other aspects of his game so that he can find success in those areas as well. On the next play, we're going to be working these seams, and Lance is going to use his eyes to hold the safety in the center of the field by glancing the seam to the left portion of the field. The right seam defender is going to rotate post-snap and take away this flat, completely uncovering the right seam. Lance is going to glance the left seam, hold the safety, and then come back to the right and get the ball out for a nice touchdown. This is an excellent play by Lance here on all fronts. Nice base, nice ball, great use of his eyes to manipulate the second-level defender. All around, great play by Lance, and one that shows that he's capable of some next-level football. On this last play, Lance is going to be throwing this in route, and the receiver is going to do the rest and essentially end this game. To cap off this long video, I just want to say Trey Lance had some ups and some downs through his 2 weeks in the preseason, and it's tough to say if we saw more good or more bad because we see some great moments, but we've also seen some head scratchers. I think it's important to remember with Lance, though, that he has not played much NFL football due to sitting behind Jimmy Garoppolo and then his injury in his second season. I think Lance's best days are ahead of him, but through 2 weeks, I understand why San Francisco decided to roll with Brock Purdy here. With Lance being QB3 on the depth chart, I hope that he's traded away and that he gets a change of scenery and that it does some good for him. The list of teams that I would consider to make a possible move for Lance would include Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and even a dark horse of the Los Angeles Rams. I think Minnesota would be the ideal landing spot in my head for Lance at this point. There's already speculation of the future of Cousins in Minnesota, and getting Lance this year gives them a chance to sit him behind Cousins for a year, and giving him that opportunity to kind of acclimate himself to that new offense. It also gets Lance tethered to an offensive-minded head coach who can help him build on what he already does well and improve him in the areas that he needs refinement. But that's all I got for this long one. Thanks for sticking around. I know it was long, but I appreciate you sticking around for it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more content similar to this, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, hitting the bell to get notifications when we make new posts. But that's it for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.